Hey guys, welcome to my digital painting tutorial. My name is David Lojaya. Today I'm going to explain you about my process of digital painting. It was 2-hour long video, but I compressed it so it will be much more interesting to watch. So let's get started. So I start with a sketch that I have done it before. I like to fill my background with gray, bluish gray, so I just paint bucket it, and then I create a new layer. I will select all the outline of the characters so it will be really neat. So I'll just faster this up. As you can see, it's just the outline. Yeah. So after that, I use magic wand to fill out the blank inside, and it's done. Okay, what I do next is filling the color. So yeah, just do the coloring. For this image, I used a studio light, and the main light is coming from the top, so I just put the shadow just below the face. Now I put some color variation, darker color, just to determine the shadow and stuff. So what I do next is putting some multiply brush, so you can change your brushes to from normal to multiply. It will create such a darker color from your actual color. It's pretty easy to control your dark with a multiply brush. So yeah, just paint it like usual, but it's gonna be darker. Just paint it in the same layer as your color. As you can see, I just brush the multiply brush in the darker area that I wanted. And yeah, for the skin, you might want to add another color variation, like maybe orange, like color temperatures, you know, just to make the skin looks alive. Also, you can add some cool colors if you want, because the surrounding of my painting is quite cool. Yeah, the skin can react with any situation. So if you have a red background, so it can have red color, some ambience. For the creepy eyes. He's looking at you, looking through your souls. I just add another layer for lighting, so I can control the layers separately, and it's just make it easier. Sorry. Now as you can see, it's kind of form a hat already. So yeah, multiply brush is quite an easy tips. You can change the opacity of your brushes as well. I like to zoom out and zoom in my pictures so I can see it from far, just to see if it looks good from far in distance. So don't get dizzy. Save it first. Now I start the multiply brush again, so it will I brush the shadow using the multiply brush, so it can create such an ambient occlusion things, you know. Maybe I should make a tutorial for ambient occlusion as well. I do liquify as well, you know, just to fix the face. I think the eye is smaller, so yeah, I fix it in liquify. Make sure to mirror your pictures, your image, your painting, so you can see what's wrong with that in different angle. As you can see, I use a color dodge brush, so you change from multiply or normal brush to color dodge. Actually, it just creates a nice lighter color for your colors. Yeah, as you can see, I use it for bounce light mostly. Under the nose, under the cheeks, chin. Bounce light is really powerful for creating a 3D look. Just don't overdo it. Yeah, I create a what do you call it? The dots, flecks, red flecks on the cheeks and on the nose using simple brush. Oh yeah, by the way, I don't use fancy brushes here, just use soft and hard edges brushes, so everyone can do this. After the face, I go to the hair. What I do is just blocking the shadow and the lights. You can use a multiply brush and color dodge brush as well, and I just render it, just smooth it using normal brush. For this brush, I just make it simple at first. I usually do hair in the last. I add some bounce light as well, so it can looks 3D, but it's too bright, so I just use multiply brush to darken it a bit. So now it has created a 3D form. Now I use a color dodge, changing the colors. I think it's too dark. It looks good already. Now move to the other parts. Well, I can just faster it up. It's actually the same like face or hair. Just make sure that you identify the object's material first. If you think that it should be shiny, then you just make it shiny. And for this belt, I think it's just normal, not any fancy stuff. The shirt, I use normal brush and multiply brushes. Just use multiply brush and normal brush again. pretty simple. Give some highlight. That's cool. Don't forget bounce color. Since the background is cool colors, I'll use cool colors as a bounce light as well. So this is the shiny parts of the belt, but since it's being covered by his stomach, so I don't want it to be really shiny. Just want to stay out of light. Okay, so we're done rendering. So I just put everything in one folder, and I duplicate the folder and just rasterize the layer. Press Ctrl E just to shortcut it, and you'll get the final single image. Okay, so now we continue rendering. As you can see, there are some mistakes, so I just use a smudge tool to correct it. See that? Don't forget to use liquify. It's really useful for me, at least. Yeah. Sharp chin. No way. It's really bad. Should make it rounder so he looks cuter. And now for the hair. I just smudge the hair so it will create a tiny little hair details effects. Yeah, just smudge like the direction of the hair. Just go with the flow. Nothing fancy. Just smudge it. Well, after that, I like to select my image, and then I modify the feathers, and I delete some of it. Yep, I delete the outer part, so it will create such a nice blur effects on the edge of the characters, so it doesn't look really sharp. Yeah, the ending part is really takes most of the time. I sometimes use mask tool as well. As you can see, it's really easy to control some part of it. You can just brush your mask, and you can color balance it or change the brightness and contrast. After that, I like to create a bounce light, this time in separate layer, so it can create such a 3D look. So here I add some more detail to the hair. So I just brush using a normal brush, and after that I erase some part of it, so it will create such a depth effects. After that I use a screen brushes, so it will create a highlights of the hairs. So after that, I merge all the images all the layers, I mean. And this time I will show you how I make a 3D effects more. So duplicate your layers and then put your brightness down and contrast down like this. Then you just erase the highlighted part where the lights touch your character like this. Actually I erasing some parts using a really low opacity. Yeah, so I just erased the highlight part of the face. You can see it. You can't see it, but you can feel it. It looks much more better now. It has a depth. It has a form already. So I put some highlight more as well using color dodge brush or screen brush as well. Anything as long as you like it. I like the color dodge more because it will glow your colors as well. Don't forget to add the shadow. I'll just make a very simple shadow since the light is coming from everywhere. And I mask the hair. I change the color. I think darker color will be cooler for this kid. And yeah, basically that's it. You can adjust your final image. You can add more blur. You can add more darker parts in. You can add textures if you want. For me, I like to darken some part of the face so it will create a 3D effects. It will form a 3D looks. So yeah, I'm almost done. I just put some bouncing light, darken some part, and color balance. Changing the level, play with your contrast, anything you like. So yeah, here we are, finished. So here's the final image, and yeah, I hope you enjoy my video, and I hope you can learn something from my tutorial. I'll see you next time. See ya.